Hello to everyone. I'm sure everybody knows after our last community meeting in Malaysia, our good dear friend and customer Daniel from Malaysia. Today I have the opportunity to talk to him about Southeast Asia in Singapore in Huber's Butchery on the National Day of Singapore. So, we wait for Daniel. So Daniel arrived, we had a nice meeting place and he said he was here during his childhood and the meeting will be basically in this special location here. Daniel, hi.
Hi.
So I will also place my beautiful ass on this blue-orange chair and we will start. Okay, it's running? Yeah. So, we are here now and I met our dear friend Daniel from Malaysia. Everybody knows him from at least the last community meeting. And I'm so happy to interview him a little bit on this very special meeting place. It was on his decision and we will talk about Southeast Asia.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Krah, for visiting myself in Singapore. Well, it's been some time since our last meeting at community meeting. So, well, right now in Southeast Asia, you know that the Southeast Asia is one of the fastest growing economy in the world, and we have the largest population in this area, and our neighboring countries still haven't stopped making babies. So first we would like to talk about Philippines. Philippines has been great. Philippines has grown from a population of 80 million 30 years ago. Today they have achieved 114 million, which needs a lot of infrastructure. Malaysia, we have grown to 33 million today. Another one that is a big country is Indonesia, also called the Thousand Island. That's where you get your Thousand Island dressing. And this place has now 320 million population. And in Thailand, we also have a growing pace. Right now, I will pass the time back to our Dr. Krah.
Okay, so we learned a little bit about Southeast Asia. You are basically Malaysian. So where do you think is for the future the most attractive, interesting market for, of course, our pipe solution?
Personally, I would think the infrastructure of Krah pipe, especially Krah pipe, is primarily focusing on population. The place with the most population will need this the most. It will have the biggest market then. Secondly, it will be due to the weather and typhoon or climate change. This will be another market sector. So I would think that currently the biggest market for Southeast Asia will still be Indonesia, then followed by maybe Thailand, then Philippines, and the rest of the country.
Okay, very nice. And so you said everything is driven by population. So it means, on the other hand, the political power and governments of the country is not important at all for the future of the country. So it's only the people and their needs of fresh water, sewage, stormwater management and all the other things? Or is the political aspect also important?
Well, honestly, for politics, it will be affected by the number of accidents or incidents that we have. For example, in Indonesia, they are moving to a new capital. This is because they see that certain things are not recoverable in parts of Malaysia, where there's new setups of different systems to cater for the local water needs, and these are all driven because if they don't have water, they don't have the support for the local community. And because we are all democratic country here, all democratic country, so the decision that they make has to be supported by the mass population. Of course, most importantly, the GDP has to be there. So you have the money to build all this infrastructure, and you have the a dream to turn the country to be better. And that's when the politicians start to sell all these dreams to us. Then they will start to do all this improvement in infrastructure.
Okay, so I'm really happy to hear this, that all this in Germany or in Europe we hear a lot about geopolitical problems in Southeast Asia. Me basically, I'm flying here several times per year, and I'm always very positive impressed. And now when I can hear from Daniel that my impression is not only a personal impression, it's also linked to the business and to the movements, I'm really happy to be here and to set up more companies, finding more customers to improve the wealth of an area, because pipes usually are the means, the infrastructure of a country in freshwater supply, sewage and stormwater management. Because what I see here, especially in the Philippines, there's a lot of stormwater management needed to protect the life, the property of the people. And with the education, usually what we also supply, we just gave 2 scholarships to young students in the Philippines. We want to help the education a lot. And so I have the feeling I'm here, and the future of the world, maybe not of the world, but the future at least of us as an infrastructure pipe system supplier is in Southeast Asia and not anymore in Europe. At least this is my feeling. What do you think, Daniel, about the future? So let's say the next 10 years, who will be the champion in this area? Where will be, what do you think, where we will go?
Okay, first of all, in the next 10 years, firstly, every country needs to start tackling the climate change. And what is climate change? Climate change is actually how you manage your environment. Yeah. So, in order to adapt to the more water, more rain, drought, extreme weather, extreme climate, what are the measures that you need to do to tackle all these problems? And how are you going to make all these problems to become a solution for you and for others? So with Krah system, there are many possibilities that all these pipes can be used in various ways, in various matters. I would say that in Southeast Asia, in the next 10 years, the biggest player will still be Indonesia. Then maybe Malaysia and Thailand. These 3 will be the next up and coming star. Because we see that today there are more and more disasters coming. For example, the last year, Kuala Lumpur itself had 40 flash floods that are more than 1 meter. And this has never happened before. And this year is experiencing drought. Drought which has affected more than 4 million of people for 1 week of water use. So this all this situation is actually avoidable. So together with Krah, we are here to solve all these issues. We are trying to make the world great again. We are to make everywhere to be livable.
Okay, very nice to hear this, and you know, we are really in the end of the short interview because we need to use all the other playground things, yeah, because our time is limited. One last question. According to my information and the increasing population, how the pipe system is affecting the health situation. I know, for example, in Singapore you have dengue, you have mosquitoes, many health issues, especially with a growing population. It could increase. Or when I heard about the flooding in the Philippines, the kids are playing in the flood, but basically the flood is also sewage. So they get hurt, they get cut, they get wounds and infected. So what do you think about the positive effect for the countries to reduce diseases driven by sewage or hygienic issues?
Well, first of all, I would think that the first and most important part for Krah system is we're able to manage the water, where the water flow is. And this itself, we can eliminate, I would say, 90% of the problems in the drain itself. Especially in Southeast Asia, our drains have three things. One, smallest one is called mosquito. The second one is called cockroach. Then the largest one is called rodents. So, in order to be more hygienic, I think these are the three things that we have to tackle. And in most parts of Southeast Asia, we have started with implementing centralized wastewater treatment. And all the previous wastewater pipes were installed in early 90s, 2000, 2010. And all these pipes have started leaking. And as we all know, there are amoebas, there are E. coli, there are all other nutritious ingredients in this liquid. So the more nutrition that we expose it to the environment, there are more diseases and more viruses that can be enhanced to affect our good health. So I think this is one of the most important areas that the government should really emphasize on, and the government should really look into, primarily on health bills. And if we can save on health bills, this is one of the largest costs that is ever shown in our budget. And especially with these three things, you know that we have one of the highest dengue cases right now in Malaysia and Singapore. That's because we have stagnant water. There's no rain, so all the wet water is stagnant in the drain, in the river, in the dark areas. And we are here to use the pipe in different ways to tackle all these problems and to eliminate all the possibilities. So to further reduce all these cases. And most importantly is to save people and to save the environment.
Okay, Daniel, thanks a lot for the nice interview, and I think now we have to play a little bit more.
Bye-bye!
Okay. Bye-bye to all of you! This was a really nice, impressive video, and I'm sweating like wow. So, see you next time in this channel. If you have any friend, do you think it would be interested to follow this channel? Let him follow and like me, and no, like the channel and me. Bye bye. So my trip to Singapore finished. It was unbelievably good and I really enjoy it. And I'm always positive surprised about the well organized and very clean airport here in Singapore. And I wish this would be the same in Germany. But I know already tomorrow morning, oh no, this evening, everything will be shitty, messy, crowded, unfriendly. So I will be back home and I will miss the peaceful, organized and clean area in Southeast Asia in Singapore. Bye bye and stay tuned.